So, hello to everyone. I met that guy, Vladimir, in Slovenia. He's a pretty cool guy. He has a lot of story to tell. Vladimir, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Thomas. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you, very good. Yeah.
yeah. Me and Thomas we met in Portorož, down on the coast in Slovenia, and he passed by and he saw one beggar guy sitting on the floor on the next to the market, and he gave him some money, and then somehow he passed by the house, the homeless, the 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 how do you call it, the house which is like a dumped house, which is
The lost.
belonging to no one. And we met there, and we started to talk, and he slept one night there, and he met all the other guys, the homeless people, and yeah, so we had a little bit of chat, and then he invited me to come to his house here in Tila in Austria.
Yeah,
You are Thomas and I'm Vladimir. I don't have
yeah,
to say my last name.
yeah,
Nothing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Vladimir. You know, that's always the case when you record it. You know, you're in some, you feel other. You know, you feel observed something. You know.
Yeah, you know better than me because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wasn't in that business. I mean,
Yeah,
I never
yeah,
done this
yeah.
before, so I don't know. Yeah.
That phone call. That was the phone call. That phone call.
Is there lots of African guys in Tila?
No, no, but through Facebook, via Facebook, I know some guys, you know, and I try to help them somewhere with some money and stuff like that, you know. And when you help one, there are coming 10 others, you know. That's always the same. And they call it on Facebook or Messenger, and they somewhere get my number, you know, and they call me on WhatsApp, and I like to help them, but I can't help when I have nothing, you know. That's a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, you're a good guy, but you need to look for yourself too.
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
cannot just give everything away.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing.
It's not the life. It's not easy. It's becoming harder and harder.
Yeah, yeah. Especially at the moment, it's very hard.
Uh, you sit down in Portorož.
But like these caps I gave you, that thing, that are things I don't need it. You know, I don't need it. That are 1 year in this how's it called, custom. I don't know the English word, and I don't need it. You know,
Yeah, but it's okay.
yeah, yeah, something
Look,
like
I'm
that. You
gonna
know,
give some to Dragan, some to the other guy, and in the house, and
yeah,
you know what is interesting? In Portorož, there was used to be a open disco club,
yeah, yeah.
just right in the city center, and the whole thing burned up.
Yes, I saw
But
that.
not just the club, but the whole complex, because this club used to have like three more shops on the back, kebab shop, I don't know, the clothes shop, and other stuff, and disco club, and everything burned up. And I was sitting, on the beach,
Yeah, yeah,
and suddenly I see like a huge smoke. And I was like, what's going on there, But not far away from me, maybe like 300 meters or something.
yeah, yeah.
And then, the firefighters, arrived, and they was trying to extinguish the whole thing. But you know how long they needed to stop the
Yeah,
fire?
yeah, yeah.
2 days.
2 days. Whoa,
Yeah.
I saw that. Yes.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, yeah. But
I
you know
never
what?
seen this before in my life.
But you know what? Now I introduce you, and we let that inside. You know,
Yeah.
that's good.
Okay.
Hello everyone. That's Vladimir. I met him in Slovenia. He has pretty cool stories to tell. Um, yes.
Yeah, we can just
Oh,
talk.
Vladimir, yeah.
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 And yeah, that was quite interesting this summer. I met lots of homeless people, like
But that with that fire, that is crazy, you know, because I don't know. That was everything was so dry, you know, and I was always thinking about when there came a fire, that's not good, you know, and I don't know, you know, because
I
I've
don't know,
sometimes,
sometimes, it's like people say, I don't know, they just pay the insurance, and if they see the business doesn't work well, they just set up the fire.
yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah, it's
that's the
happening,
case. Uh,
because I spent like 3.5 months down on the coast in Porto Roche, and I don't think the business was, good. I don't know. The restaurants, yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, the restaurants was doing good, but the clubs was, it was almost like nobody didn't care about going out to party,
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, I think that's the reason, but I'm not sure.
yeah.
I cannot be guaranteed. Like you never know.
But that the people who are watching have some idea who you are. You are from born in Slovenia,
Of course, yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. In a city called
Kran.
Gran, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you went to Australia.
No, no. First, when I graduated, when I finished my school, I went to work on the boat, on the cruising ship,
Yeah,
and I was doing like 5 contracts. Contracts are like 6 months or sometimes 9 months, depends.
yeah, yeah,
And then after that, I started talking to, international people, from coming from everywhere, And I get inspired by that, and I was thinking, like maybe I should do a little bit more, travel a little bit more, go somewhere else, And then I went to England, to London, and I was working there 5 years, and I get even more inspired. And then after that, I said, okay, I met some Australian people because there is lots of Australian people in London.
yeah, yeah,
They like to travel Europe, so the first they come to London, and after London they travel to Spain
yeah,
and
yeah.
France and wherever.
But which contracts do you had? That was the IT thing, where you
No,
said
no,
you.
no, no. I was back then. I was in hospitality business. I was working in the restaurants.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then after that, because of this Australian people, just made me thinking about Australia a lot. So I just decided to go to Australia, and I bought the tourist visa, which was back then was like this is like 2011, I think, so 2010. And I looked online how much it cost, but back then it was like 50 euros to get like to Australia, but you had to have like a return ticket, otherwise they wouldn't let you in. Uh, I had to buy that, and it was like for 12 months. But every 3 months you had to exit Australia and then come back, even if it's one day.
it's like America.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same
yeah,
thing, yeah.
yeah.
So I was on the beach. I was like a sportsman like you, back then when I was younger.
Yeah, yeah,
I used to do the running and the push-ups and sit-ups and all this, the weights and all this. And I saw one lady on the beach. The first night I slept in the hostel, and then the next day I went to the beach. That was in Sydney, Northern Beaches. Uh, and then I saw one lady, she was trying to exercise, doing sit-ups, and she was like doing everything wrong, and I said to her, like, sorry, it's better if you, she was lying, she was doing it like next to me,
yeah, yeah.
and I said to her, you have, sorry, but you have to, correct that a little bit, because it's gonna be better for you. And she said, okay, and then she asked me where I'm from, and I said from Slovenia. And she wasn't sure where is Slovenia, because Slovenia is a very small country, and and then I explained her, like Yugoslavia, and then she said, okay, I understand now. And then she said, if you're looking for a job, there is a restaurant from your country just across the road. And I'm like, really? She said, yeah, I'm going there every night. And I went there after we, uh, uh, went apart. I went there, and the restaurant waiter, was there, and I asked him, is there any manager here or a boss,
Yeah.
so I can talk to him about the job? And he said, just wait a moment. And he came to me, and his name was like Željko, like 2 meters tall with a big nose. And I asked him if he needs anyone to work in the restaurant, like, because I'm looking for a job. Because Australia is very expensive. You cannot live without a job. It's impossible. And he said, where are you from? I said, Slovenia. But then he said, like, pa da li pričaš srpski? I said to him, yes. And then we start to speak in his language, And he said to me, what do you know to do? I said, like, I used to be a waiter, if you're interested, in someone, And he said, like, yeah, do you want to start now? I said, no, not now. I just arrived to Australia. Can we start tomorrow? And then he said, okay, come tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, and then we will start. I said, okay, no problem. And then and then I said, I said to him, like, I don't know if it's this legal to say, but I was not legally allowed to work in Australia because I only had a tourist visa. And I asked him, like, if it's possible to work like that. And he said, don't worry, I'll give you cash under the table. That's how they call it. And I said, okay, And I was working 3 days. And after 3 days, I met the girl, she was Australian, living there and working with me. And I don't know, she was like, kind of like me, and, we was like, together like for a while, and then I decided to stay in Australia, and I asked her if she can sponsor me, to live there, because it's very hard to get visa otherwise, And she sponsored me, and
But she was an Australian.
she was Australian, Naomi. And then I stayed there for almost 9 years altogether. So then we had a house, lots of loans, and we couldn't pay everything, because it was a little bit too much.
But when you own that house, you have, But you buy the ground and
No, we just bought the house.
yeah. I see you. Okay.
But not, the loan, for the house.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we separated, and then I said it's no point for me to be in Australia anymore, And then I just decided to come back to Europe. And I was so broke. I only had like €5 in my pocket when I came back to my mom, to Feldkirchen. And when I arrived, to the house, my mom, she was like, I said, like, just leave me alone. I go to the room and I sleep first because I had like almost 40 hours travel, and I decided to just go to sleep. I didn't want to talk, nothing, And then next day in the morning, next to my bed, there was a mom like sitting on the couch, and she was like sitting and watching me, And she asked me, what's happening, Vlad? I bankrupt. I break down financially. I don't have nothing left, you know.
I
And
know the situation.
she said to me, so what are you gonna do now? Because she knew that I had everything, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, I also introduced the Naomi to my family. I was taking her all around Europe and everywhere. We used to have everything, you know. And then she was like so surprised that she couldn't believe. And she said, "What now? What's your next step? What are you gonna do now?" I said, "I don't know. I have no idea."
That was almost that was this year.
No, this is like when the corona happens. That's
2020.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And and then because of corona, I couldn't work much because the business was in that industry very bad, like in the restaurant business.
yeah,
And I didn't know what to do. And then I was doing the courses on computer for the IT.
yeah, yeah.
And because I was staying in the house, you know, all the time, and I didn't know what to do, you know. And then I decided to do that, you know, like, and we had like lots of different projects, you know. After I started working after Corona, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
I was going to. First, I went to Greece, to Athens,
yeah, yeah.
Piraeus. I was working there for 6 months, and then after that, I went to Krakow, to Poland. I was
Yeah.
working there too. Um, all different projects, but it's not important, you know. Like I don't want to go too much into details because
No,
it's
no problem, no
yeah,
problem. But this
yeah,
year you came to Porto Roche a few months ago. You said.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, the last job I had, I was in Romania
yeah,
in the city called Cluj, and you know, in this business you can make money, you know. And I was working
yeah,
there for 3 months, and then I didn't work
yeah,
nothing for I don't know 7 months
yeah. But for the
or more.
for the
Yeah,
viewers, we have met in Porto Roche a few days ago, and I met you with that guy. I was at the market a few weeks ago, and I gave there was in front of that market there were two guys, and
the homeless people.
yes, the homeless people, yes. And God said to me in my heart, give the left one 20 euros, and I gave them 20 euros. I don't know, I had like 30 euros or 40 euros, and I gave them 20, and
Yeah, that's
then
true because he told me that. Yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah,
And that's, God told me that, and I was obedient, you know. And then it was so. I told him about Jesus. I told him my story, and there, next to them there was a guy, and he can't speak German and he can't speak English,
English. Yeah.
but he was listening somehow, you know. Maybe he heard Jesus Christ or something like that, and then it was
He actually felt that you're a good person.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, and then
Because these homeless people, they normally feel, you know,
yes, I just
they don't have a need
yeah, but
to.
just for the viewers that
Yeah,
they have an
yeah,
idea what's going on, and then a few hours later I come back and this guy that was next to that guy I gave that money. He was totally happy to see me and said Jesus Christ, and hugged me and something like that, you know. And I was very happy because he don't speak German, he don't speak English, but somehow he listened and heard Jesus Christ, and that gives him joy and makes him happy, you know. And I was very happy too. And then I drove back to Villach, to Austria, and a few days ago I came to Porto Roche, and I go next to that house, and I saw some people, and went there, and there was that guy that was in front of the market. Dragan is his name, and next to Dragan was Vladimir, and yes, we had a funny time there with that people, with that homeless people. Yes, they have a very hard life. They have a really hard life there, and
yeah. I can tell you a bit if you like to know,
yes, yes, yes,
and for your viewers
yeah, yeah,
about these homeless people. You know, they have very hard stories.
yeah,
You know, they've been telling me like stuff. The person wants to cry.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and he was like when he was explaining me some stories. You know, he was crying. You know, and I was like stopping him. You know, like please don't cry. You know, because if you cry, you know, you're gonna make me sad as well, and then I'm gonna cry too. You know. So I didn't really want it, you know. But they're very strong people, you know. They've been, I don't know, living in the forest for 15 years, and you know, I don't know what happened to them, but I really have hard understanding, you know, for these people, because I understand the parents left them, or some parents they died, you know, and they don't have any home, and they just had to find a way, you know, how to survive. You know, they're on the welfare.
Yeah.
They get like 480 euros, you know, a month, and for this money you cannot support yourself. You know, you cannot hire an apartment or a room, not even a room in Slovenia.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they had to stay in the abandoned houses, and cook their own food, and you know, and yeah, they have like a little cookers, you know, like this size,
Gas,
you know,
gas.
with a little gas like this much inside.
Yeah.
So they cook some soup, and
They charge the things at the gas station, something like
yeah,
that.
you can buy this little gas on the petrol station. Yeah. So they cook soup or something, you know. But I only come for a summertime because I like to be on the beach, and I like the sea. And
Yeah. But you was with them
but
and you supported them.
after the summertime, I go to work. You know, I always apply. You know, for jobs. You know, I'm not like. But it's very hard to understand. You know, how they can survive through the winter,
Yeah.
because lots of people think down on the coast it's like, you know, not cold like up here in Austria.
Yeah.
You know, it's even colder,
Yeah. Yeah.
because they have like a strong winds.
Yeah, yeah, that's the freezing
It's
thing.
very freezing,
Yeah.
you know, like so.
I recognized it 2 days ago. It's when
Yeah,
the wind comes, it's
yeah,
very cold. Yeah.
and I don't know. These people for me are, I don't know, very interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and Vladimir supported them, and I was with them too.
Yeah, I also
was
help
with
a
them.
lot. Yeah, I also help.
Yeah. And yeah, it's hard to look at them because they are good people. They have a good heart. You know that. You know that when you see people when they have a good heart. You know that. And I have some people here too. They have a lot of problems with some things, but they have all of good heart. But the people that have a good heart always have the most problems. I think. You know.
Yeah, normally, as far as I understand, you know, like they have like something wrong with mental, you know, like thing, you know. I'm not a psychologist or something, you know, so I cannot say like from the professional side, you know. But when I talk to these people, you know, they lost their ambitions, they lost their
With the hope.
hope and strength, and you know, to move themselves up again, and start create their life again, you know.
Yeah.
Because they have like a very bad life, you know. They
Yes.
you know, they lost their everything, you know. So they just drop down. And once you drop down, you know, when you fell down all the way, you know, it's very hard to pick up yourself, you know. But
Yes.
you have to pick yourself.
You have to pick yourself
Yeah.
up. You have to go to Jesus. He picks you up.
Yeah.
But
But
you have to go to
you
him.
Thomas, you're the
Yeah.
same, right? You
Yes.
had also the similar story, and then you pick yourself up, right?
Yes, but I went to Jesus. You have to take the step to Jesus, and then He lifts you up.
Yeah.
He put you out of that misery. But the people, they don't believe it. And they need some examples, some testimonies like mine. Where they can see you can get out of this. And that's such an important thing that I tell people that story. And I come, especially to such people. But the thing is, they don't. I don't speak Slovenian, and they don't speak English or German, and yeah,
It's
that's
hard
a
for
little
you
bit the
to,
problem.
yeah, you cannot communicate.
Yes,
of
I
course,
cannot
yeah.
communicate.
Yeah,
I can tell.
yeah, but now you have me, so I can,
Yes, you
I can
translate that for-
translate you.
Google Translate, you know.
Yeah, if you
Vladimir Translate.
yeah, if you want to
That's
be
it.
interested, you know, like coming down on the coast again, you know, like we can do it, you know, if you
Yeah,
want.
yeah, 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 for sure.
We can film it as well, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so lots of stories they can tell you for sure,
yeah, yeah,
more than me.
yeah,
Okay, I done the world, you know, I've been traveling a lot in my life, you know, I've been almost everywhere.
yeah,
But these guys, they never been nowhere. They're just on the streets
yeah.
or in the woods.
Yes, yes.
That's how they live. It's like
That's
sometimes
crazy. That's crazy. That's
sometimes it's unbelievable to just to think about it. You know, like is that possible? But yeah, it's possible. People are like that.
15 years in the woods. That's hardcore.
15 years,
That's
yeah.
hardcore. That's
Dragan was
hardcore.
15 years in the woods.
But he can live there, you know. He survived.
He made
You know.
like a little house,
Yeah,
you know, like with woods,
yeah, yeah, yeah. With some.
with some roof, you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Like the survival guys, you know.
yeah,
But
and
that's
then
crazy.
there was like one Bulgarian homeless guy as well, you know, living with him, you know, in the same house. And he was a little bit drunk, and he was trying to cook something, and he poured
Gasoline.
the diesel
Yeah,
on the fire, and the whole house went into a fire. Everybody was running out. And it's not that that he just burned the house, you know. He also burned like yeah, a little bit of forest too. And then the police and the firefighters came, and then you know, the journalists, you know, they came as well, you know. So he was on news on the TV.
but he destroyed their home, you know. This I think
I
that's
don't
so
know if
crazy.
I can tell to your audience
Yeah,
about the people that was coming in the house.
for sure, for sure,
Yeah, I
for
can
sure.
tell.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Also, if it's a criminal or not.
No, no. Yeah, can tell also. It's no problem.
Yeah, yeah, you can cut the name
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you want. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah, so I spent in this abandoned house, you know, 3 months and a half with Dragan. But we always had some new people coming. There was one guy, I don't want to mention the names, I'm gonna just say like guys. Uh, he was like without money, not even 1 cent of euro, whatever, in his pocket, and his friend, both of them, like no money at all. And there was these two guys, they were stealing, you know, like all the shops for 2 months. Like they've been bringing like 8 bottles of whiskeys, for example, I don't know, like 5 big prosciuttos like this,
But
and
that big one, that
yeah, no,
that whole
yeah.
that whole that
No,
whole thing.
1 kilo 200. I was measuring. I was looking the
How are you
ticket.
supposed to do that?
Yeah, 120. Yeah, 100. 1 kilo 200 grams.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but not one. Like 5 of them, you know.
yeah.
And they've been selling, you know, like to the taxi drivers, you know, like for less than the half of the price, just to have a little bit of money to survive.
Yeah.
And they've been doing this like for 2 months. Yeah. I don't want to tell other stuff, you know,
You
because
can't
it's
tell everything. You can't
yeah,
tell everything. That's real talk. That's real talk, and that's,
yeah,
you know, people have to hear that such a stories, how people are living, you know. But
yeah,
the whole people, you know, they're living in their houses and in their all that stuff, you know, and they have to hear what's going on with people on the
yeah.
streets,
So
you
I'm
know.
gonna tell one story, but it's not very, I don't know, good to, I don't know.
Just tell it, just tell
I
it,
just
just tell it.
uh, this guy was the same guy who was stealing. You know, he was very. Ah, yeah. They all been in prison before, and they was all waiting for get back to the prison. Because none of them was working normal jobs in their lives, and this guy, he had like one of these guys. He had a pool next to the Albanian shifter restaurant, and the guy, he went, the owner, he went nuts, and then he warned him like a couple of times to go away, and he doesn't want to see him next to his restaurant anymore. And he was keep on coming back, and he was asking for cigarettes, the guests and everyone, and because he was addicted, he couldn't survive 3 minutes without a cigarette, without him, without money, and you need cigarettes. It's where you have to go around and asking people,
Yeah. Yeah.
And this guy organized like the young, because the police doesn't care about that. He organized the young guys. They beat him, but seriously beat him. That's why he had to left Portorož.
Yeah.
And the other guy, his friend, they throw him over the, I don't know how you call it, like a brick or something, like he fell down and he broke his head. He had to go to hospital, and they still didn't want to leave, and they were still existing, like staying there, and then the second day they find them again, and they did the same thing, and then they decide to go away, because they couldn't stay there anymore, because there was like, yeah, this is what is happening,
Yeah. Yeah, that's life.
Yeah.
That's truth. That's life. I was in Graz, in Augarten Park. That's a city park called. There are a lot of homeless people and addicts, and they have such crazy stories. They had such crazy stories. They are everybody a little bit crazy, but not bad people. And one guy, he was always giving everything away. He was always his whole life. He had a lot of stuff. He was half of a company owner. He had with his brother a company and something like that, and he gave everything away. And now he has nothing. He's on the streets. He was a good guy like me, and everything giving away and something like that. And then he lost everything, and now he's on the streets. But the funny thing, he found everything in this park. One day he comes with such a light. He comes. I was there, and he was around. He was going around, and then he came back with such a light or something like that. He found everything. That guy, he has luck with finding things. And yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but these people are interesting for me. I don't know. I rather talk to these people than some people. They have this normal life. They go to work, come home, cook something, and they go to sleep. And they have the credit for the car, for the house, for the. It's not interesting. They're all the same.